right, thank you for staying with us. It's the TMI on the ITV network. And here in our Benin Network Center, let's start our conversation. We'll be looking at President Tinubu's foreign trip amid insecurity. 2 weeks ago, the president left the country. We were told by his media aide that he was going to Europe. Europe is not a country, but Europe is a continent. So, as it stands, it seems like we don't even know the country where our president is, but he's the president of Nigeria. The incessant travels, what is behind it when the home or his country where he's presiding over seem not to be settled? I have a public affairs analyst, the person of Ambassador Dr. Abraham Jackson, who is here to help us make sense on the show this morning. Doc, good to have you.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you, sir.
All right. You've monitored the political situation since the president came on board. Travel today, travel tomorrow, and almost every day travel. But this seemed to be a very striking one. You traveled amid a crossover. You did not even do crossover in your country. You did it in another man's country. Would you say his travel is a premise on maybe infrastructural development, or he's just going there for his own personal gains?
What I think is the president is trying to work with maybe the European Union or the Americans to make sure that Nigeria is moving in the right direction. But what I think is presently there's a situation at hand that the Americans they put pressure on him, even the Europeans, the Israelis, what is happening, security. So they are putting pressure, trying to see how Nigeria get better, especially when the Islamic people are against the Christians. So the Europeans, the Americans, they are seriously against the government of Nigeria. So Tinubu is trying to travel to see how he can, make peace with these people and try to tell them that he wants to make Nigeria get better. He will settle the issue so that the foreign body can come in to take over the country, as they have done in Venezuela.
All right, a quick one. Does the president have to travel? Does he have to go on these trips? Because just like he said in opening, these trips they seem to be incessant. It's from one trip to another, and as we know, he's in Europe, and we're not even sure what part of Europe he's in. So, does he have to be physically present in these places to, effect the desired change?
No, he's not supposed, because there are people who are assigned in different areas.
Exactly.
You understand? So he should have been back home, sending maybe ministers for foreign affairs, so on and so forth, so that while he's doing his own part here. But I don't know the reason why he's going. Maybe he can also be going for medical purposes.
But they will not tell you about the medical, because I'm trying as much as possible not to bring in that medical first.
Okay.
Because we know his point of call when it comes to medical. It's France. But they did not mention France. They say Europe. Let's talk to our guest joining virtually. Idris Zekeri. Idris Zekeri is a public affairs and a political analyst who joins us via Zoom. Idris, good morning and good to have you. Let me say Happy New Year to you. I think we've not done that this year. How are you doing?
An absolute delight to be here.
Okay, thank you very much, Idris. Well, extracting the president's incessant trip out of the country, the one that happened, or the one we are still on, the president has been out of the country since December last year. He didn't celebrate Christmas with us. He didn't celebrate New Year with us. He didn't cross over in Nigeria. Today is already 15th. So 15 days since the beginning of the new year, we've not seen our president. His continued trip, do you think is for diplomatic relations, or he's just going there for his personal gains or something? Let's have a word from you on that.
That's a fantastic question. And once again, Happy New Year to you. Happy New Year to our viewers. It's my first time of the year on our darling independent television and radio. An important question you have asked. There's only one way to answer that question, and that is measuring the outcome of the trips of the president. And measuring the outcome is a real thing. There are... Can you hear me clearly? Can you hear me clearly? Okay, I'll just continue. Measuring the outcome of the trip of the president is a real thing. And measuring the outcome primarily has to do with ensuring that whenever the president travels, there are defined outcomes. Okay, we intend to achieve this for this country. We intend to achieve a lot more investment in the country. We intend to leverage our relationship with European partners to get more security incentive. We intend to bring in new technology to support our people. We intend to bring cultural exchanges for our students. We intend to bring this or that. But once that is not done, once it is not defined what the president is traveling for, and it is all left in the realm of speculation, it amounts to Nigerians paying for the tourist activities of a president. That is the only way to explain it. Anything other than that, once you cannot put a tab on the reason why the president is traveling in a defined and consistent manner, establishing the eventual outcome of those trips, it is simply what you can effectively call a tourist travel. And then the only problem with tourism is not a bad thing. The only problem with the presidential tourism is that we, the Nigerian people, are paying for it.
Idris, that's actually amazing one, is that we, the Nigerian people, are paying for it. I'll come back to you, but let's fall back to the studio and talk to Ambassador Dr. Abraham Jackson. Okay.
All right, Ambassador. I would like us to take a look at the issue of secrecy here. You know, I think one very important quality of any responsible democratic government is transparency.
Accountability.
And accountability. You know, isn't it worrisome that even as we speak, we are not even sure exactly where our president is
right now?
Because we're just hearing that he's in Europe.
He's in Europe.
Don't you think the people deserve to know exactly where he is?
You know, like, you see, during the past administration, things like this take place. So it's like a normal routine.
It's a continuous
thing.
So but it ought not to be.
It's not supposed. If you look at the Western world, whatever that is happening to the president, the people,
know.
yes, everybody knows, and they tell you the head status, wherever he goes, you know, they are aware of it. But in this country, you know, there's this kind of cabal, you understand, that, you know, they hold it very, very tight.
But is there a particular reason why that is? Because if there's nothing to hide, then I don't think information as basic as the whereabouts of the #1 man of the country, you know, should be such a secret.
No, he's not supposed. I think it's the mentality of, you know, the African people. If you look at the Western world, whatever that is happening to you as a president, the people deserve to know.
Absolutely. There's a public office holder.
Yeah, so I believe that with time, we know we are developing, you know.
One time is already running out.
Yeah. So we pray that maybe after this administration, who is coming next, will be more better.
Yeah.
You
in
know?
terms of accountability.
Yes.
Okay. Let me come back to you, Zachary. Zachary, now there have been secrecy, like you said, even if it is a medical, even if it is tourism that he went for. But there have been rumors also that the president is in France, because our late former president, his second country, as it were, was the UK. But it seems like President Bola Tinubu is not a UK person. He's not a fan of the United Kingdom. His is France, Emmanuel Macron. So there are some kind of a little statement out there on the public space that is on the medical tourism in France. Do you think that's what's really happening, or they just decide to keep his, you know, whether tourism you call it now, his travel outside the purview of the public? Because the president is supposed to be a public person, not a private person, because once you swear to an oath in the constitution that you want to be the president or a governor or a public office holder, you don't have a private life anymore. The only private life you have is between you and your wife on the bed. The other ones, we get to know whether it's your health status or not. So from that angle, do you think the president is in that country where we know and for a medical tourism?
Well, that's another great question. I must underline that there is nothing wrong in getting sick or falling sick. It's not a problem. At one point or the other, we will all get sick. At one point or the other, we will eventually get old. And there is nothing absolutely wrong with that. And also, there's nothing wrong in seeking medical care from whether within or outside the country. Big problem is, As president, you are public property number one. Like you rightly pointed out, you are no longer for yourself. You are now for the Nigerian people. I must also mention that as president, the entire gamut of your life and existence is your country's future is tied to it. So imagine you are a father that is supposed to take care of you, provide for the family, suddenly vanishes from the radar. You will be worried as a family, and that's why Nigerians are worried rightly. So again, I need to mention, as president, there is a huge problem, and I think I need to point this out to our viewers. There is a huge problem with people, with president, leaders in Africa constantly traveling abroad to seek medical help. I do not see how much it's going to cost to build a 5-star world-class hospital in Nigeria that can cater for the needs of the president. We are not asking you to build for us, the common man and women now, because we have agreed that you do not have the political will or the heart to do it, to build for Nigerians that will serve the Nigerian people. Build for yourself. If need be, import the doctors you are going to meet in France and the United Kingdom, import them to Nigeria so that they can take care of you here. Two things will happen. First, we'll be saving our forex. Secondly, we'll be saving our pride and dignity as a nation. Thirdly, we'll be keeping the secret, official secrets, because there are rumors that even the fecal matter of President Vladimir Putin of Russia, whenever he visits another country, they repatriate the fecal matter back to his country. Imagine our own president goes to sleep in one bed in one hospital in a foreign country. So Africa cannot be the funeral home of African leaders. African leaders must build infrastructure, must build hospitals, must build schools that can not only attend to them, but attend to their children. You heard the recent allegation by Comrade Aliko Dangote of the government official who had paid $5 million. A government official, the entire salary he will earn for his life, if he works for the entirety of his life, is not up to $1 million. But he paid $5 million for 4 children in a school in Switzerland. The only thing I am confused about, I don't know if they will open the brain of these children and replace it with a foreign brain because they are attending that school. So this is the mindset, this is the operating system of an African leader, and it needs to change.
Thank you very much, Zekeri. But I think I will not agree with you with one when you said they should build a 5-star hospital for themselves. They should build a 5-star hospital for Nigerians.
Yes.
I won't allow that for themselves because we are Nigerians. I deserve better health care.
Yeah.
But let me come to you. Amid the biting insecurity, is it fair? Is it right that our president is traveling incessantly? Since the new year, we've not seen him. We don't know where he is. And things are happening in terms of insecurity and security. We saw the one that happened in Ekpoma recently that led to the whole protest that turned rampage and all that. Don't you think this ought not to be from a public office holder, as a person, as the #1 citizen of the country, the president?
My brother, it's not only insecurity, it's not the issue of the president alone. Okay. If you go to like Western world now, it's the responsibility of everybody to make sure that the country is secure. Yeah. Maybe, for example, you are in a France airport, Italian airport, they will always continue making an announcement when you see something that is you are not too sure of. Make sure you call so number.
You see something, say something.
Yeah, you have to make everybody know something is wrong somewhere. Yeah. So, like the issue of the president is the #1 citizen. His own is to give directives. Like the country where I live, we have police in charge of finance. We have police in charge of infrastructure. We have different
police in different sectors
that handles issue. It's just like finance, for example. Now they are bringing in the tax issue. You cannot collect money from people without giving it back to them. Wow. You have to make sure that when people are paying tax, you must make sure that you are giving them quality education.
That's accountability.
Yeah, you have to give them a good hospital where people can be treated. You cannot take tax from people. You just take the money and keep for yourselves. Any money that you take from people, you must give